Hey, what's up, you guys? WWE fan 0599 here again, and today we're going to review Lethal Weapon 2. So, Lethal Weapon 2 stars Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, and Joe Pesci, and what this film is about, it's about when Murtaugh and Riggs are on the trail of some South African diplomats, and they're using their immunity to engage in criminal activities. Basically, Murtaugh and Riggs have to stop them before it gets out of hand. So, what did I think of A Lethal Weapon 2? It's a great action sequel. I do think Lethal Weapon 2 is a great sequel. It's not better than the first Lethal Weapon, but it's still, I think at least, one of the better action sequels. It's a great action sequel, so yeah. So let's get into my positives, and my positives are the acting with the movie. The acting is great. I think mostly everybody does a really great job. It's mostly the two leads. Of course, Mel Gibson as Riggs. He's great. He does a great job as Riggs. You know, I love Mel Gibson in these films. He does a great job as Riggs, you know. Just like the first movie, he gives a very human performance, and he's just great. He really is. He does a great job as Riggs. Of course, Danny Glover as Murtaugh. He's great as well. You know, I enjoy him in the film as well. He did a great job. And, yeah, and everyone else was really good in the film. The action is still great. I still love the action with this film. The action in the film is very well handled, very shot well. You know, Richard Donner does a great job directing the action. The action is great in the film. There is this one moment in the film that almost had me in tears. It is such a hilarious moment. All I'm going to say is, if you've never seen the film, I'll just say they're watching a commercial. That's it. The expressions on their faces and what happens in that scene is hilarious. And just a really funny moment. Just the way they handled that scene was absolutely incredible. So yeah. I still love the chemistry between Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. You know, I still love the chemistry between the two of them. You know, they just have great chemistry, and it definitely shows in this film. You know, and I definitely love that. You know, I love the chemistry between both of the main characters in the film. So yeah, they definitely do a great job as a duo in the film. The writing's spectacular. I love the writing with the film. The writing is just awesome. I love the writing with Lethal Weapon 2. The directing's great. Of course, it's directed by Richard Donner, who made the first one. He does a great job directing this one as well. Some incredible directing, in my opinion. I do love the directing with Lethal Weapon 2. The pacing is great. Just like the first movie, this movie flies by. Like, there's no slow moments in Lethal Weapon 2. It just flies by, and I love that. You know, the pacing is great, just flies by. So yeah. Now, my only two negatives I do have with Lethal Weapon 2 are the first one being Joe Pesci. Now, I love Joe Pesci as an actor. Joe Pesci is great. But in here, his character is just obnoxious and annoying, really. Like, every time he was on screen, like, literally, the main characters, I do not know how many times they had to tell him to shut up in this movie. Like, literally, I lost count. Because he's just that annoying in the film. And he does this thing, oh my goodness, he does it so much in the film. He goes like, okay. It's so annoying. And just the way his character was written was really terrible, in my opinion. I don't think it's really Joe Pesci's fault. I think it's mostly how his character was written, in my opinion, you know. And just the stuff he was given. He tried the best, but his character was really annoying. So yeah. And my last negative is the villains. The villains felt very bland and just not that great. They fall very flat compared to the villains in the first film, which were fantastic. But the villains in this film are not as great. They're very bland, in my opinion. So yeah. But besides that, Lethal Weapon 2 is still a great action sequel. Like I said, I know a lot of people actually think this is better than the first film. Me, not so much. But it's still a great sequel. I still loved it. So yeah. So it's time for my official grade on Lethal Weapon 2. And my official grade on Lethal Weapon 2 is an A-. It's still a great action sequel. Like I said, very awesome action. Some great acting from Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. So yeah, I just loved Lethal Weapon 2. Great action sequel. So what do you guys think of Lethal Weapon 2? leave in the comment section below. I'm WWE Fan 0599, and we will see you all tomorrow for my review for Lethal Weapon 3. Peace.